Hey everybody, can you feel the power? Jescar Power Lock. It's an oldie, but a goodie. Now if you're just coming up in the detailing game, you think ceramic coating this, bead maker that, you guys got it. This is the OG, you guys. This is the OG. This stuff is amazing. I'm gonna install Jescar Power Lock on this paint. Do you see all those like towel marks or something? It almost looks like buffer trails. What's amazing about a power lock is it has some filling properties. So not only does it give amazing gloss and shine, but it also fills amazingly. Let's put this on this Jaguar and check out what it looks like. Tell me you can see the scratches and swirls in that paint. I want you to look at probably what you'd call is just spider webbing. I mean, in direct sunlight, you should be able to see some of that spider webbing. If you can't, let me know. Could it use a polish? Absolutely. But, you know, my amazing customer, he doesn't want to pay for a polish, but he takes care of me, so I want to take care of him. Let's just see how much Jescar Power Lock can kind of fill in some of these spider webs and just give you an amazing looking car. So I'll be honest with you guys as I shake this stuff up. The reason I don't use it, it just takes more time. You have to squirt something out of a bottle onto an applicator. I don't even know how much you need. I can't remember. What did the directions say? Apply a thin layer of sealant, allow to dry to a haze, and then you remove the residue after a half an hour. You guys, the extra work, I'm telling you, is worth it. It's worth it. I mean, it just is. That first layer went on way too thick, but it's just, you know, you're putting this on by hand. You could also apply this with a black pad on a dual action polisher, right? You're just trying to apply a real thin layer. So I'm gonna buff this in. It's gonna haze up, and then in a half an hour, we're gonna remove it. It goes on extremely kind of sticky and grabby. So I'm being very gentle with my microfiber because I don't want to mar finicky black paint, but I'm just going to trust that this is going to do what it's going to do. I've tried to strip the panel with paint prep a couple times just to give this a real nice chance of bonding to the paint. And I love the idea of letting it sit there for a half an hour and just kind of letting it do its thing. I've used this before. I've never installed it this way. I've always installed it with a dual action polisher, which is much easier. This feels more cumbersome, and I hope I'm not scratching the paint, but you know, it's a clean microfiber applicator, and to be honest with you, the paint was already pretty swirled up, right? So, but if you're worried about this doing anything to the paint, you know, you could always use the DA method. Like I said, I've never done this method before. I don't think there's any concern with having too much product sitting there. I think whatever is going to bond is going to bond. You want to avoid trim with this product. I do like using a hand applicator though, because I feel more in tune with getting every little nook and cranny instead of just flying through with the DA polisher and just trying to hit every spot but inevitably missing something, you know? Okay. So I'm just working it into maybe a thinner layer just because I feel like I'm supposed to, but it's going to haze and cure and do its thing. Oh, it's so thick, you know? It just feels different than your spray-on sealants that we're so used to using in this convenient world. All right, I'm gonna finish up the car and then we'll see you in about a half hour. So I've done a third of the hood here. It really seems to just favor a very thin application. I find that the more product I have on here, the harder it is to work with. As I apply this, I'm reminded why I don't do it often. I keep thinking it's not going to be a big deal, and it just takes a while. Again, I've never applied it with a microfiber applicator like this before, but there's some scratches there. We're going to try to make sure everything gets on the panel, gets a chance to do what it does, filling, etc., etc. It's just extra work, you know, like spraying on a sealant, no big deal. This is definitely extra work, but you'll see the results. All right, we're about 15 minutes after application of Jescar Power Lock. It does freak me out to see a vehicle with all this swirling and haze on it, but I have faith that underneath there, the chemistry is working. It's doing something to this clear coat, and when we buff it off, whoo, it'll be nice. I'm sure people in the comments are gonna say, Nick, you applied it wrong, and normally like I apply it with a DA pad. I liked the pad method, although it was kind of fun to do it by hand, but I have a suspicion maybe I applied too much. I don't know, or was my technique could have been bad on the application of this. But I think what's important is just kind of getting it on every surface, and oh man, it's all oily and slick, and it's kind of cool to see. I mean, we just don't apply waxes anymore in the detailing industry, or at least very rarely. So that was a fun application process, although a little time consuming. Let's wait 15 more minutes and then we'll buffer off. Comes off real slick, real easy. Just nice, gentle pressure. What do you think about that, you guys? Look at how well that fills those scratches in. I can't even see. Obviously that's still unbuffed off, but whew. God, that looks nice. A 30% improvement probably, at least. Plus you've got just the shine and gloss, which is insane. I mean, look at this. And I know there's scratches on this paint, but look at how amazing that looks. I'd say the cons is you can get like some of the product in some of these areas, and that's kind of a pain to remove that you wouldn't get with a spray sealant. And then it was a little grabby for me as I took it off here. I think it's because I had it in the sun for a while, so I used like an O&R dampened rag. But God, I mean, it's such an amazing vehicle, and if no correction is going to be done, I mean, look at this panel. You know how nasty that looked earlier when it was totally stripped, and those fillers have it looking amazing. Jescar Power Lock sealant applied to this vehicle. I moved it back here into the garage just to give you just a little bit of a different look. So right there, you can kind of see where I didn't get it all off. So that's one thing you want to watch for as you kind of wrap up your detail, is like any possible spots that you could have missed. But how about gloss? How about the pop? Now I want to show you direct sunlight. Remember this panel from hell? I mean, there's swirls under there. We didn't correct this paint. We didn't. But yet, those like hologram type swirl towel marks, whatever they were, are basically gone. And this is direct sunlight. This is unforgiving. I mean, the paint's not perfect. But I will say one con is like, I'm gonna need to get a steamer in there. There's some sealant residue. So you're dealing with some other variables, but as the sun goes down, you can see just what a gorgeous vehicle this is. I mean, Jescar Power Lock sealant. Amazing protection. You put in more work, but I would definitely say you get more gloss, more pop. And now you've got this amazing Jaguar looking shiny and glossy for the summer, and you didn't have to blow the budget. Holy cow, you guys, what a gorgeous ride.